What's good with Geezy? Back at it. Another reaction. This time we got SKYLINE versus Lincoln Park, San Diego, the Wild Swamp Storage, you know what I'm saying? So now my boy D, this time we tap into the San Diego Swamp. So he told me this was KILLSWITCH from, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying? KILLSWITCH is goddamn rapper, goddamn, doing this thing right now, you know what I'm saying? I got a reaction with him and goddamn Slow B up on the goddamn saying on the goddamn channel. Make sure y'all go check that out, you know what I'm saying? But D told me to tap, you know what I'm saying? So I get a goddamn better understand, you know what I'm saying? What's goddamn going out there in San Diego. So we gonna tap in and see, you know what I'm saying? What's their goddamn story, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, more content. Without further ado, let's get straight to it.
Welcome back to another episode of Swamp Stories. For this episode, we double back on my favorite city in the world. I originally made this video way back in December, but let's just say I fumbled some of the facts. I'm just kidding, Swamp Stories would never do that. Either way, this video needed to be done correctly. So if this is your second time watching this, I truly appreciate it. And if you've been here long enough, you know that I'm gonna have a hard time being serious in this video, so bear with me if I start bursting out laughing. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. You can also follow the Instagram page as well. So let's get into it. San Diego, one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Known for beautiful beaches, a world...
Yeah, I ain't never been out there, but like, I fuck with y'all landscape. You looking mad nice out there.
famous zoo, and most importantly, the wildest streets in America. I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, that came out of nowhere. Like, he was just outliving the city that he gonna just hit a goddamn sharp ass turn with that.
All seriousness, San Diego is an amazing place to live. The weather, the women, the food, the universities, it's all great. And
I ain't gonna lie, y'all do got some beautiful women out there. I ain't gonna lie, I be seeing that. Y'all women goddamn, yeah, they goddamn top tier out there.
many consider it the best city in California. You may roll your eyes at this, but in 2022, it's an absolute fact. Let me explain. California as a whole has lost hundreds of thousands of residents in the past few years. In fact, in 2020 alone, the state lost 650,000 residents. And unfortunately, the numbers have only risen since.
Why though? What's the reason? I don't know.
You may be thinking, obviously, people are leaving because it's so expensive.
Yeah, I don't say that.
And although that is a major reason, it's not the main issue. The main reason people are leaving the state is lack of safety. Many residents have gotten fed up with the increasing problems in their neighborhood. And honestly, this is a major
that'll make anybody move. I ain't gonna lie, you tired of the same shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
issue everywhere. San Francisco, Oakland, Sacramento, LA, and of course, not San Diego. For whatever reason, San Diego is not having problems like the rest of the state. In fact, it's rated as one of the safest cities in the world. Not
True? That's facts?
just the state or the country, but the entire planet. And because of this, San Diego's population has skyrocketed since 2020. Both Bay Area
Need some safety.
LA residents are fleeing down to San Diego to get away from the wild streets. The last time I made this video, everyone went crazy because I said that San Diego was safe. A San Diego rapper named Mitchie Slick was not happy either. He claims that San Diego is just as wild as LA and compares his block to Crenshaw and Slauson.
It's low in San Diego, but if you come to Southeast San Diego, that's like if LA was just...
You know what I'm saying? Get them niggas, they got down street problems, man. Niggas take this shit serious, nigga. This nigga on this shit trying to play and shit.
Awaken your
Niggas, they got
intensity.
down problems.
just South Central. Same LA story, same Oakland story, same shit.
Whether his statement is true or not, which I'm sure it's not, it brings me to an important point. Yes, good things should be celebrated. Do not take my jokes as ridiculing safety. I'm simply ridiculing the people who try to make their city seem worse than it is. In my opinion, that mindset sets the wrong precedent for the youth. When I made my Seattle video, I even had a guy try to sue me for saying that Seattle is a safe environment. Like,
That nigga said sue. Bro, cause stop playing with niggas, bro. Like, niggas let me playing with that city, bro. Like, you trying to make he's and niggas living that, bro. Like, niggas not finna play with you, gang. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be doing that, gang.
Seattle video, I even had a guy try to sue me for saying that Seattle is a safe environment. Like, what? I kid you not, this is a true story. So let me just state this once and for all. The fact that a city is safe should make us all happy. Instead of arguing, San Diego should be proud that their homicide rate is just 2.4 per 100,000. That's 5 times lower than LA, 15 times lower than Oakland, and 32 times lower than St. Louis. Let's just say that San Diego is extremely safe. But unfortunately, it wasn't always this way. In fact, the 619 has definitely seen some rough days. But before we get into it, let me run the intro.
Alright, come on now.
The 1970s were a very important decade in Southern California history. That's because it was the first decade where South Central and Compton residents began relocating to other cities. So during this time, tens of thousands of new residents settled into San Diego, specifically Southeast San Diego. And if you can't tell, this is a beautiful neighborhood. Many of the houses are well kept, have 2 stories, driveways, front lawns, and neighborhood parks. The point is that the area looks like your typical upper middle class suburb. With that being said, relative to the rest of San Diego, the Southeast is considered the bottom. Either way, the neighborhood was an escape from the madness of
boy banging.
LA, and most families just wanted to leave that environment behind. But for whatever reason, not everyone was on board with that goal. So by 1975, some groups started to form in the Southeast. Because everyone was brand new to the area and were coming from different sections of LA, it took a while to decide what they were going to represent. Some people wanted to represent their old affiliation while others wanted to start brand new. Well, long story short, the initial group of guys started brand new. And that
it makes sense, you know what I'm saying? We all come to different places. We might as well link up and start something new, you know what I'm saying? Since we all from, it make more sense.
Takes us to an area known as Lincoln Park. The neighborhood stretches from the 805 freeway to Euclid Ave, which is only 5 blocks. Well, in the early 1970s, they got together and started a group called Paul Lowe's Control. And no, that's not a joke. They actually thought that that was a good name. But after a few years, they realized that the name was ridiculous and changed it into the Lincoln Park Bloods. And because they wanted their own identity, instead of wearing red, they chose to wear green. This separates them from everyone else in San Diego. Everything they do is centered around Kennedy Park and the Bay Vista Apartments, also known as the Dip. And if you're curious, the Bay Vista Apartments are not public housing, but you do have to make under $71,000 to live there. One of those residents was a man named James Cannon, and he was one of the founding members of Lincoln Park. If his name doesn't sound familiar, he's well known for being the father of Nick Cannon. So that's Lincoln Park, but during this same time, other groups started.
That's crazy. Nick Cannon? Swear his pops out here, damn. That's crazy.
Named James Cannon, and he was one of the founding members of Lincoln Park. If his name doesn't sound familiar,
I didn't peep the Cannon last name part. I should have put 2 and 2 together.
He's well known for being the father of Nick Cannon. So that's Lincoln Park, but during this same time, other groups started to form in the Southeast as well. So let's head 4 miles up the road. There we have another section of Southeast San Diego known as SKYLINE. For whatever reason, the SKYLINE area attracted families from Compton. So in the early 1970s, a Cedar Block Pyru decided to bring his affiliations with him. And by 1975, the entire SKYLINE area became known as the SKYLINE Pyrus. Early on, they also went by the Rolling 80s, but that was left in the past. SKYLINE Pyru is the biggest territory in the Southeast. It covers Lomita Village, Jamacha, SKYLINE Hills, Alta Vista, Encanta, and Bay Terrace. Okay, these are beautiful neighborhoods. I cannot believe how nice and peaceful.
I ain't gonna lie, they look decent. I ain't gonna lie to you, they look decent.
I cannot believe how nice and peaceful these areas look. I usually have an understanding of why bad situations can arise from bad places, but how someone could live here and possibly choose to be in the streets is mind-boggling. But hey,
bro, it don't matter, bro. If that's a nigga lifestyle, bro, nigga gonna bang where he at no matter where he at. He can be in the goddamn burbs, the hills, the trenches. Nigga on Mars, nigga. If he gonna bang, he gonna bang, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That shit is in niggas, bro. It don't matter about your location, nigga. That shit ain't about none of that, you know what I'm saying? Should just be part of niggas' lifestyle.
Not for me to understand, so I'll just present the facts. Although SKYLINE covers a large area, their main territory is the Meadowbrook Apartments, and that's where the majority of activities go down. Well, early on, Lincoln Park and SKYLINE were close allies. In fact, they were known to get money together in the early 80s. And if you know anything about California in the 80s, then you know exactly what they were doing. Making bank. They rolled and hustled.
Nah, bro, y'all was doing y'all thing out there in the 80s, like, everybody know that.
together for about 4 years. Linkin Park even defended Skyline against their main rivals. That happened to be the Rolling 40s.
Rolling
These guys
40s.
had moved down from LA and taken over the area around 47th and Market. And that takes us to 1984. This is the year where everything fell apart in Southeast San Diego. A disagreement started over lost money and everyone went back to their original sides. Rumors say that Linkin Park denied owing money and Skyline was steady on the fact that they were owed. And because of this, an instant rivalry was formed. Ever since
Y'all say over that money, niggas don't play with their money, man. Y'all better stop playing.
fact that they were owed. And because of Linkin Park denied owing money and Skyline was steady on the fact that they were owed. And because of this, an instant rivalry was formed. Ever since 1984, Linkin Park versus Skyline has been non-stop. It got so bad that everyone in San Diego had to take a side. And here's how it went. Linkin Park
caught in the middle.
Became allies with two major factors in San Diego. First were the 5'9" Brims. These guys are located between Ocean View and Imperial, just across the 805 from Linkin Park. Next to join was Emerald Hills. And if you've ever been here, which no one probably has, it's awesome. Probably one of the cooler neighborhoods in California. But somehow the area has a wild reputation. That's the Linkin Park side. Now let's cover the Skyline side. Just like Linkin Park, two sections join the Skyline Alliance. First would be O'Farrell Park, who are located at the very start of Skyline Drive from 59 to 65th. Then you have the Parkside Pyrus. This is the only group in San Diego that didn't originate from LA. They actually existed years prior to LA's arrival in San Diego. Parkside claims an area called the Paradise Hills. Can you believe that people from a place called
Skin feel tight and dry? Try Hydro Boost Gel Cleanser to cleanse and hydrate. Neutrogena.
Red Bull gives you wings.
called Paradise Hills jumped off the porch? Me neither. But Parkside...
Nigga, just a name. It ain't that serious, bro. Like, names don't mean nothing, bro. Like, nigga on that, nigga on that.
Either is anyone I just mentioned. San Diego was completely wild and out of control in the mid-80s to early 2000s. And the only reason you don't know about this is because the media just never covered it. If you don't believe me, check this out. In 1992, San Diego had 278 homicides.
Damn.
That gave it a rate of 23 per 100,000. That's higher than current day Chicago and 3 times higher than current day LA. It's actually unbelievable that such a nice city was so bad, but that's how serious this rivalry was. They didn't care that they lived in $500,000 homes and could go to the beach. No, all that mattered was Skyline versus Linkin Park. And that takes us to December 31st, 2002. It's a beautiful New Year's Eve in San Diego. Sunny 68 degrees, a light breeze, and the tail end of the holiday spirit. Usually everyone is in good spirits enjoying the family time. However, in Southeast San Diego, some people have different plans. Linkin Park is upset because of all the problems that Skyline has been causing. And for whatever reason, New Year's Eve would be their time to get back. So at 9:40 p.m.
Damn, man, like, everybody go out there on New Year's. Niggas trying to have fun. Catch a nigga having fun. That'd be the last time you do that.
Two Linkin Park men head up to Skyline. They drive around the area and pull up to Skyline's popular hangout spot, the Arco station across the street from the Meadowbrook apartments. And there they spot a couple of Skyline men outside. And without hesitation, the Linkin Park men approach. This incident shocked Skyline because Jason and Thomas were not seriously involved. It was simply wrong place, wrong time, a Southern California theme. It seems like more often than not, the people in these situations don't even know each other. So let's fast forward to the next day. While at the hospital, Jason Brown gets a visitor, a fellow Skyline member named James Carter. He asks Jason who did it. Jason responds it was Linkin Park. Instantly, James is furious, so he leaves the hospital and goes to pick up his wife. From there, the two head to Big Five Sporting Goods on College Ave. And back in these days, Big Five was selling tools, if you know what I mean. So James gets everything he needs, leaves the store, and heads home. There, he plans his next move with two Skyline associates. The plan is to drive around Linkin Park and
My boy finna goddamn stand on business. Damn, alright.
see what they can find. 5 p.m. While driving by Dr. J's, James Carter thinks he spots a Linkin Park member. So he pulls into the parking lot and waits for him to walk outside. And as soon as the man leaves the store, bang!
Damn!
This incident would absolutely shock the community because no one in the situation had anything to do with Lincoln Park. And eventually, James Carter would go down after 8 years of no one talking. This was Southeast San Diego at its absolute worst. During this time, you just never knew where or when something would pop off. August 13th, 2004. Two SKYLINE members, Charles Foster and Daryl Flint, are casually walking down Gribble Street. As they get to the intersection of SKYLINE Boulevard, a white Expedition pulls up beside them. The driver rolls down the window and yells, "What's Bracken? Where are you from?" Then Charles throws up SKYLINE. The driver gets upset and asks to squabble. Charles turns it down and says, "Hey, it's not time yet." Then the Expedition speeds away. That situation could have been much worse, and Charles and Daryl know it. So Charles calls up everyone from SKYLINE Piru and tells them to watch out for a white truck. 11:30 p.m.
Damn,
Everyone is
that's
out.
a real nigga, bro, because a lot of niggas would have just probably killed themselves, wanted to think more of it, you know what I'm saying? But him knowing, you know what I'm saying, the lifestyle he living, he let the whole game know. That's a real nigga right there. Damn, he probably say a lot of lies with that, just that one goddamn simple maneuver, I ain't gonna lie.
Celebrating and barbecuing on this nice summer night. But that's when the white Expedition turns the corner. A SKYLINE member from down the street yells, "White Expedition, get down." So Charles Foster...
Damn, that's a real nigga. See, look, he done goddamn put the gang in the goddamn position and goddamn protect themselves and goddamn prevent some goddamn chaos happening. That's a real nigga, my boy. That's a real nigga, man.
A summer night. But that's when the white Expedition turns the corner. A SKYLINE member from down the street yells, "White Expedition."
Niggas so dumb, they ain't gonna switch the car. That's probably a Stoli or niggas not even knowing to switch the V after they've been spotty, you know what I'm saying? But niggas, you know what I'm saying? Niggas gonna be niggas though.
Expedition turns the corner. A SKYLINE member from down the street yells, "White Expedition, get down." So Charles Foster and Daryl Flint sprint away. So then the car pulls up closer. Thankfully, everyone was okay, but Lincoln Park was not done yet. After the incident, 5 SKYLINE members decide that the Southeast is too sketchy and they want to go relax. So they decide to go to the Padre Gold nightclub. The place is located in the beautiful Linda Vista neighborhood, right near USD, 12:30 a.m. The SKYLINE friends arrive and instantly realize that it's a college-type event and they feel out of place. So they give it a few minutes, find a few girls to talk to, and start heading out. Outside the club, a girl asks them if she could get a ride home. One of the guys ends up agreeing because her apartment is on the way of their next destination. He also wants to flex his brand new BMW 745. So 3 of the guys take off in their cars and Richard Wilson drives her home in his BMW. After dropping her off, all of the SKYLINE men head down to the Gaslamp district. And if you're not familiar, this is the party scene in San Diego. Anyways, while on Freeway 163, the 3 men notice a white Expedition behind them. So to be cautious, they pull off into the fashion district. And that's when the Expedition gets up close. Again, everyone was okay, but this was scary because how did the Lincoln Park guys know where to find them? The next day, 2:30 p.m., a group of 4 guys are playing pickup basketball at the Meadow.
Them niggas on their heels, damn. Sheesh, he got them on the interstate too, damn.
Expedition gets up close. Again, everyone was okay, but this was scary because how did the Lincoln Park guys know where to find them? The next day, 2:30 p.m., a group of 4 guys are playing pickup basketball at the Meadowbrook Apartments. None of them are affiliated with anything, they just happen to live in the area. Well, the white Expedition is at it again and pulls up to Meadowbrook. But today they
not giving up, bro. Like, that nigga trying to goddamn stamp some. That goddamn white Expedition, I ain't gonna lie. Sheesh.
At the Meadowbrook Apartments. None of them are affiliated with anything, they just happen to live in the area. Well, the white Expedition is at it again and pulls up to Meadowbrook. But today they can't find anyone they're looking for. So instead, they wait outside the basketball game. After the game, the guys walk across the street to Hank's supermarket. And while crossing the street, the white Expedition pulls in front. At this point, enough was enough, and SKYLINE decided to take a different route. They opted to work with San Diego investigators. Even SKYLINE's top members decided to testify as well. And thankfully, the entire group of Lincoln Park and 5'9" Brim members went down. Dejon Satterwhite and Thomas Edward both got life. But for whatever reason, they both got out in 2021. Either way, in my opinion, it was beautiful to see an entire community cooperate and do it the right way. However, that doesn't represent everyone, because half of SKYLINE was not on board with this. The other members got revenge in their own way. I won't get into the events because there are simply too many. However, here is a graphic that represents the next 5 years in Linkin Park. All of those dots represent Linkin Park members who didn't make it. Yeah, this rivalry was really bad, and eventually SKYLINE had to be stopped. Operation Red Sky. In 2008, 93 SKYLINE members went down, and because of this, San Diego became a much safer place. Like I said earlier, America's safest city. Part of the reason why many people aren't familiar with San Diego's underworld is because their music scene has never been popping. However, Linkin Park did have a rap
facts. I ain't gonna lie, the music scene definitely put a lot of goddamn hoods on the map. I ain't gonna lie, he ain't lying.
named Mitchie Slick, and he's definitely worth listening to. He has old school songs with Messy Marv, Lil Wayne, and Nipsey Hussle. But that's the old school, so let's head to the current day. The current Southeast is as messy as ever. On the Linkin Park side, you have a rapper who's been pretty solid named KT Foreign. You may recognize him from his hit song with Sugar Free. He's actually from 5'9" Brims, but they roll with Linkin Park. On the other side for SKYLINE, you have a rapper named KILLSWITCH.
Boy, yeah, KILLSWITCH, you understand? Shout out my boy D, understand? Put me on, yeah, alright.
He's actually pretty hard. I can't take him seriously because he's from San Diego, but he's definitely worth checking
Bro, I'm tired of him saying that, bro.
out. You can hear him dissing Linkin Park and Brims all the time in his music. Interestingly enough, he was close with Stockton rapper Slow B, and they had songs together.
Yeah, my boy Slow B, man, yeah. I don't lie. I reacted to that song, you know what I'm saying? Y'all go check that out, you know what I'm saying? It's still up right now to the day. Y'all go run that up, you know what I'm saying?
Because Slow B's dad was an OG from SKYLINE Pyru. KILLSWITCH talked about it in a recent interview with the guy who brings me up every single time. He pretends he's not a fan, but we know the truth. Well, over the past few years, the Southeast has been pretty active. Between the Bay Vistas and the Meadowbrook, things have been adding up. Regardless, this episode proves that everywhere has a hood, even the safest city in the country. And that's gonna do it for this episode of Swamp.
I ain't gonna lie, Swamp was fake challenge this one, I ain't gonna lie, but I ain't gonna lie, this is good though, I ain't gonna lie. Summer Boy D put me on, you know what I'm saying? I got a goddamn history lesson, I'm saying, see what's going on, that's all, you know what I'm saying? But that's it for the reaction. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, more content. Till next time, it's your boy Geezy.